Our next group is auditory learners. This is the next biggest group. Auditory learners are about 30% of the world's population at present. The temporal lobes handle auditory content. Auditory learners relate most effectively to the spoken word, and information written down has little meaning for them. You're the person who should be using recorders for the lecture or class. Play your notes back in the car, while on the bus or train. Use storytelling. Make up a story about your material. Listen to the lectures as though they were telling you a story. Often I find that people who are auditory do not do well with visual or written down lists. And nowhere was this brought more strongly to me than when I had a little girl who was trying her hardest to get her driver's license, and failure after failure after failure. So we went to the driver's course and we saw what she was doing, and we created her this little rhyme. Twinkle, twinkle, little car with tires that go far. That was to remind her to do the external check, which was the brakes, the lights, and the tires themselves. It has seat belts, keys, and lights. She was supposed to make sure that anybody who got in was putting on their seat belt. She had to put the key into the ignition and then put her lights on before she started everything up. Mirrors to look at, all the sights. That was a checkpoint. She had to check the mirrors, and she had to remember to check the mirrors every 12 seconds. Twinkle, twinkle, little car. Turn the key and touch the brakes. Now the big thing that she was doing beforehand was she was stalling the car because she was trying her hardest not to roll back. So if she touched the brakes, she could then take the handbrake off or we shake. And she knew then the process to do this. Look to the left, look to the right, put in gear and check the sights. Again, another look to the left, look to the right, look to the left again. In your country of America, it would be look to the right, look to the left, look to the right. But we drive on the left-hand side of the road. Now, the visual process had her very confused. But once we put it to a rhyme, she was quite confident. She got into the car because she had the little rhyme running through her head, and she managed to pass the test first time. A very effective technique is the first letter association technique. And that's making words or sentences out of your keywords and helps you recall. For instance, a marketing process, these students usually use the word ADA. ADA is A for grab the attention, I for interest, D for desire, and A for action. So they know when they're going to the exam, this is what they're going to put down in the essay type question. Acronymic sentences are very useful when you have to remember information in a certain order. So you try this technique. For example, my very exciting mom just served us 9 pies. Could you tell me what the planets are from that? Well, yes, very easily. My very exciting mom just served us 9 pies means Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. Am I right? Let's have a look. Yep, I'm right. Much easier to remember than those in the proper order. Mnemonics are techniques for remembering information, and I've used a very silly animation technique in this in order to try and bring this down to you, because auditory people should use songs and words associations to study successfully. And if they do that, they can do it by making up poems and mnemonics, and they can make up little jingles and set the notes to music, just like I did in the previous slide. Of course, you have to first extract the key points to make those silly rhymes and jingles. But it's great fun, and it's a way of making sure that you remember stuff. So to sum up, the written word is definitely less powerful than the spoken word for an auditory learner. So remember processes in the forms of rhymes, acronymic sentences, jingles, poems and songs. Put your words or sentences into keywords to help you with your recall. Use things like the ADA, rhymes and jingles. These are the things that an auditory learner needs to use. There may be other ways to be an auditory learner, but these ones are definitely the most effective.